Managing an investment bank process, the Warren Fox Group. Course breakdown. In this course, we have 3 classes. In class 1, we covered winning client mandates. In class 2, we covered deal launch preparation. And in class 3, we'll cover go-to-market. Class breakdown. During this class, the Warren Fox Group will cover the below topics: what to expect on launch day, how to efficiently manage outreach, establishing deal team communications, establishing banker-client communications, introductory calls with investors, and management presentations. This is lesson 1 of class 3. In this lesson, we'll review the final preparations before taking a deal to market, what to expect on launch day. Background. As a practitioner, some of the most exciting days in your career will be taking clients to market, which is known in the industry as going to market. Throughout this lesson, the Warren Fox Group will outline some of the key items that a junior banker is expected to assist on prior to going to market. Some things include drafting investor outreach emails, determining outreach assignments, coordinating roles and responsibilities with the client, sending out daily outreach summaries. Drafting outreach emails. The junior banker will draft an outreach email that introduces the deal and explains the investment opportunity. The outreach email will be on a no-names basis, meaning that a code name will be utilized instead of the client's name. Email structure. First, you will introduce the deal structure and the deal size, identify the target sector, and state the potential of the opportunity. Then in the body, you will describe the target company in more detail and discuss the key company metrics and highlights. And then to conclude, the email will invite the investor to fill out an NDA and to meet with the bankers to discuss the opportunity in further detail. Email attachments. You'll include a project teaser, which is a truncated version of the SIM, usually 1 or 2 pages, and then a standard form NDA. The Warren Fox Group provides an example template of an investor outreach email on its website at www.thewarrenfoxgroup.org. Outreach assignments. Organize outreach. Prior to launch date, the bankers will meet and assign outreach responsibilities. To prepare for this meeting, the junior bankers should review the bank's internal CRM tool and determine which senior bankers have the closest relationships with the entities on the buyer's list. The bank needs to be organized in its outreach effort and ensure that the investor isn't being reached multiple times on the same deal by different bankers, because it signals the bank is disorganized and scrambled. Breaking into large institutions. Buyers can either be financial or strategic. Some of the financial players could be very large and complex funds, and some of the strategic players could be massive corporations. Both entity types consist of lots of employees and a wide array of teams to support their operations, meaning that there's multiple entry points to these organizations. The bank needs to run an efficient process, and to do so, the practitioners need to identify the right individuals. The individuals need to have influence at their respective institutions to authorize the proper resources to begin the diligence process and to expedite the investment decisions. If the deal team begins in the wrong entry point, it could take weeks, if not months, for the person to socialize the opportunity with the right people and teams. For example, large institutions are bureaucratic, political, and work at a relatively slow pace. Coordination with the client. Once a bank has received sign-off on the buyer's list, the VDR, marketing materials, and the financial model, then the deal team will communicate an exact go-to-market date to the client. The client needs to be aware of the go-to-market date because the client will likely need to process a steady inflow of NDAs, scheduling requests, and initial due diligence questions. On the day of launch, depending on the type of process, the bankers will send out hundreds of outreach emails to potential investors. The outreach email will invite the investor to fill out an NDA and then schedule time with the banker for an introductory call, which will likely lead to a management presentation if the investor continues to show interest. Non-disclosure agreements. Facilitating NDAs. The investor will be redlining NDAs and sending them back to the banker to facilitate the comments. The bankers will send the comments to the client, and the client will need to respond in a timely fashion. This typically requires the client to have a designated individual to receive and assess NDA markups. To accept or reject comments, the client might use in-house counsel, third-party counsel, or, if the client is really small, a designated member of the management team. Investor requests and questions. Scheduling time with management and answering investor diligence questions. The client also needs to be ready to schedule management presentations with potential investors and answer specific due diligence questions, which will be facilitated through the bankers. Conducting management presentations with investors require a large time commitment from the client and access to the management team's calendars. This is sometimes handled by an executive assistant. Some investors can move quickly, and the bankers could be coordinating management presentations within a few days of the deal's initial outreach. Daily outreach summaries. At this point in the deal process, the junior bankers are already sending out nightly workstream emails, keeping the entire deal team appraised of each step of the deal. Once outreach begins, the deal will become much more active, and senior bankers will need to be informed of each and every interaction that is taking place within the deal. Therefore, once the deal is in market, the junior bankers will include an outreach summary in the nightly workstream email. The junior bankers should have the structure of the outreach summary prepared prior to launch. An outreach summary is an output that comes directly from the contact log and provides the latest updates on each potential investor. The outreach summary will provide senior bankers with details on the number of investors contacted, the assigned banker on each investor, the current stage each investor is within the deal funnel. For example, did they sign the NDA? Do they have intro call scheduled? Do they have a management presentation scheduled? And did they submit bids and offers, etc., etc.? Another important piece of information on the outreach summary is the last communication on each investor to know exactly what the next action item is. Another important item is a list of the investors who have passed and the reason for passing. Final thoughts. Here's what to expect on the morning of launch day. In a coordinated effort, the senior bankers will blast out outreach emails to each of their designated contacts on the buyer's list. The senior bankers will carbon copy the internal distribution list on each outreach email so that the deal team members can record the communication. This will result in the deal team receiving hundreds of emails simultaneously with a flurry of responses. In cases when outreach processes are much more targeted, the outreach will be less daunting in terms of email traffic. Targeted processes require more precision and personalization, usually involving direct phone calls or tailored emails to specific individuals within certain institutions. Thank you for tuning into this lesson. We look forward to seeing you in the next lesson, in which we will cover how to efficiently manage outreach.